yet. Hello, Macalester. So thank you, Ken Martin. He is a man who fights for our values and a great partner in that fight. Thank you, Ken. Everybody, come on. I also want to say thank you to Collie Herr for being here. I really appreciate it. You know, it's great to have representatives in the State House, in Congress, and in the White House, people who are good allies to get the job done. So let's hear it for Collie. So I'm really glad to be here in Minnesota. I'm really glad to be here at Macalester because I am happy to be in the state that is going to vote to send Joe Biden to the White House. And that is going to send my very good friend and my partner in so many fights, Tina Smith, back to the Senate. Okay, 16 days. I don't know about you, but I can't wait. 16 days. Now, the way I look at elections, they're about accountability. This is the chance for the American people to look at their elected representatives and say, either you're doing a great job or you're not. This is the moment of accountability. And I want everybody to just take a deep breath through your masks and think about where we are right now. More than 215,000 people have died from coronavirus. Those are our cousins, our neighbors, our friends, our family, our grandparents, our parents, our sisters, our brothers. It is the equivalent of having fought 4 wars in Vietnam. That's the number of Americans we have already lost. And what has Donald Trump done? He's paraded through one press conference after another where it's always been all about him. How he has a better idea, right? Drink bleach. Don't listen to the scientists. Don't wear masks. And here we are, 8 months into this crisis, and Donald Trump and his administration still have no plan for how to deal with the coronavirus. And that is why on November 3rd, we will hold Donald Trump accountable. And it's not only our health, our lives, our safety during this pandemic. It's about our health all the time. Donald Trump has had one big legislative push, other than cutting taxes for millionaires, billionaires, and giant corporations, and that has been to try to take away health care from tens of millions of Americans, to try to repeal the Affordable Care Act. And remember, they almost did it. They came within one vote of taking away health care for people all across this country, taking away protection for people with pre-existing conditions. Every Republican, except right at the end when we got a couple in the Senate, voted to take away that health care, and Donald Trump was right there in the heart of it. And when they lost, and we kept the health care for people, what was his next move? Go to the courts and see if you can get the courts to throw out the Affordable Care Act. And we now know that 1 week after the election, the Supreme Court will hear a case that will, depending on which way it goes, will take away health care from tens of millions of Americans. Donald Trump is pushing through a Supreme Court nominee right now so that she can be the vote he needs, that 5th vote to deny health care to people across this country. People's lives depend on access to health care. People's lives depend on access to their prescriptions. People's lives depend on us. And that is why on November 3rd, we will hold Donald Trump accountable. And right now, Donald Trump and the Republicans are trying to steal a second Supreme Court seat. Why? Partly to get someone who will get rid of health care for millions of Americans, but also someone who will overturn Roe versus Wade and someone who will crush our unions. That is why on November 3rd, we will hold Donald Trump accountable. It's not only our health, it's also our economy. Donald Trump has been in charge for nearly 4 years now, and what's happened? We have 8 million more people in poverty. We have people struggling all around this country and small businesses that can't open, restaurants that are closed and may never be able to reopen, millions of people who are unemployed. And Donald Trump and the Republicans just want to play politics. They won't get the help to the people who need it. And that is why on November 3rd, we will hold Donald Trump accountable. I look at our schools, and what do I see? I see a world in which Betsy DeVos has spent nearly 4 years now trying to take as much money out of public schools and put it into private schools as possible, who has tried to squeeze students on student loan debt as hard as possible, who has tried to make education not something that is open for everyone, but something that works only for a smaller and smaller number. And now, with the COVID crisis upon us, Donald Trump and the Republicans refuse to put the money in that we need in order to be able to reopen our schools safely. So understand this. On November 3rd, we not only will hold Donald Trump accountable, we're going to get rid of Betsy DeVos. We are reaching a moment on our planet in which the crisis that is upon us may no longer be one that we will be able to successfully fight back against. The climate crisis is here, and no, it is not, the science around this is not controversial. The science is clear. In fact, you know what scares me to death? Is every time we get more data and reanalyze the data, what we discover is the problem's even worse than we thought. We have even less time than we thought. And so what has Donald Trump done for 4 years? He not only hasn't made things better, he has actively made them worse. He withdrew us from the Paris Climate Accord. He's put a coal lobbyist in charge of the Environmental Protection Agency. What could possibly go wrong? He has opened up for offshore drilling, and he has said yes to the oil companies. They can drill in the Arctic National Wildlife Preserve. Donald Trump threatens the existence of human life, of all life on this planet. And on November 3rd, we will hold Donald Trump accountable. And one more. We have reached a moment in this nation when we can no longer deny the facts of racial injustice, of the threat to the lives of people of color. We can no longer turn our backs. This is a moment of reckoning for our nation. It is a moral moment for our nation. And what has Donald Trump done? Donald Trump has told the Proud Boys to stand by. He has called white supremacists fine people, and he has stirred hate and division and ugliness at every opportunity. And that is why on November 3rd, we will hold Donald Trump accountable. 16 more days. 16 more days, and we're going to be able to hold Donald Trump accountable. But here's the thing. It's not just that on November 3rd, we get to get rid of Donald Trump, although I got to tell you, that's a good day's work. It will get me in the fight all by itself. It's not only to get rid of Donald Trump, It's to be able to put Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the White House. It's to be able to have two terrific people who have a real moral compass, to have people who believe that government can actually be a force for good if you put the interests of people first. So, this is what we've got in front of us. Joe Biden has a plan to deal with the coronavirus, and it's going to start with science and medicine. What do you think? That'll be novel, right? And that is why on November 3rd, we're going to elect Joe Biden the President of the United States. Joe Biden has committed that he will protect the Affordable Care Act, he will expand access to health care, and he will lower the price of prescription drugs. That's why on November 3rd, we're going to elect Joe Biden the President of the United States. And Joe Biden understands what's happening with the Supreme Court seat and what Donald Trump and the Republicans in the Senate have been doing for years now, trying to tilt the courts more and more in favor of corporations, in favor of an extremist right-wing position that does not reflect the values of the people of the United States of America. And that is why Joe Biden has committed to restore the integrity of our courts, to have judges who are committed to justice, not just for some, but justice for all. And that's why we'll elect Joe Biden on November 3rd. Oh, and can we talk economy for just a minute? Can we talk about raising the minimum wage? Yes. Can we talk about making investments here at home in the jobs, making investments in our people? But particularly, I want to lift up one commitment that Joe Biden has made repeatedly. And it's something that Tina Smith and I have been working on together as partners for a long time. Joe Biden has committed, and Tina and I are going to hold him to it, to universal child care and universal pre-K for every 3-year-old and 4-year-old in America. So good for mamas and daddies, so good for babies, and so good for child care workers who are disproportionately women, disproportionately people of color. We're going to raise their wages. We're going to make this a profession. Taking care of our babies is one of the most important things you can do in this country, and we're going to do it. And I can't come here to Macalester without mentioning one other part of how you build an economy and how you make an economy work for everyone. And that is that Joe Biden has committed. We are going to cancel a big hunk of student loan debt. That's how you build a future. That's how you make the investments. And on climate, Joe Biden has committed $2 trillion to attack the climate crisis head on, to acknowledge and to repair the damage that has been done in communities of color, to make an investment in jobs, in clean energy here in America, to build good jobs here, good union jobs. That's how we're going to save this planet, and that's why we're going to elect Joe Biden come November 3rd. And when I watch Donald Trump as he tries to run for re-election by just openly behaving as a racist, of dragging in front of people that he wants to separate as many Americans as he can, turn people against people. I think about what Joe Biden says, that this is a fight for the soul of our nation. I think about the kind of America he's going to fight for, an America in which we make a real commitment to criminal justice reform, an America in which we make a real commitment to ending racial inequalities in health care, in housing, in education, an America where every child, whether that child is black or Latinx or Asian or Native American or white, where every child, whether that child is raised as a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or an atheist, whether that child is born into a family that is rich or poor, whether that child is straight or LGBTQ, every child in America will feel loved, will feel safe, and will have a real opportunity to build a future. That's why I'm in this fight. And I love you too. So here we are. We got 16 days left. And I met with your president. I just want to call her the president because it makes me feel so much better than thinking about Donald Trump. She told me that you have 100% voter registration here at Macalester. Is that right? Give yourselves a... I have never been any place where someone has told me they've hit 100% on registration. Woohoo! Okay. So, registration is the first step. How many of you have already voted? Woo! Okay, I should have asked it the other way. Who hasn't voted? Oh, okay. You guys take names. Okay, we got 2 here, couple in the back. I know why you're in the back. I used to teach school. I always keep an eye on the back. Okay, all right. So here's my ask. The last few of you vote. Okay, vote soon. But here's the other part. Volunteer. Volunteer. We not only have to vote ourselves, we got to get our friends to vote. We got to get our family to vote. We've got to get the friends of the friends and the family of the family. We got to get the people we go to school with to vote. We got to get the people we work with to vote, because democracy is truly on the line. We can no longer be in America in which elections are won by voter suppression, by keeping people away from the polls. We've got to be in America where every voice gets heard. Because here's what I believe. If every voice gets heard, if everyone votes, democracy wins, and I believe that's how we're going to get rid of Donald Trump. So, 16 days, I'm asking you, dig deep. Dig deep. Volunteer. Offer an hour. If you're already offering an hour, offer another hour. To make calls, to do texts, to do whatever is being done here. Literature drops, whatever you all are doing. But please, spend some extra time, because it's going to be tough. I know it looks good right now in Minnesota, but boy, I thought it looked good 4 years ago right now. So, everybody, we got to run through the tape. We got to be in this one all the way. We've got to put everything we've got to it, because we don't want to just win a little. We want to win big. We want to put wind in the sails for the kinds of changes we want to make. If you put in an extra hour, think about doing it for childcare. Think about doing it for racial justice. Think about doing it to get rid of student loan debt. Put in that time, because that's how we say to our leaders in Washington, we are here for you, but we are here to make change. It's going to be tough. I get that. But here's what I truly believe. If we stand together, if we fight together, if we persist together, then we will build the America of our best values. Thank you all. One more thing. The last time I was here, we then all lined up and did selfies. We can't do that right now because of COVID. So I'm going to do the selfie myself, and I'm going to get all of you in it, and you can look online and say, there you are, okay? And it also means you definitely want to be smiling behind your mask so you can claim you were smiling in the selfie. Here we go. All right, just a sec. You can stand up if you want to. All right, ready? Oh, you guys are fabulous. right, 16 days. Let's get this done.